So today's review is on the S-Works Prevail 2 with ANGi. Essentially, it is specializes top of the line vented helmet. At least it was until last week when they came out with the vent version, or 2 weeks ago when they came out with the vent version. But I do actually like how this one looks a little bit better. Just doesn't have as drastic cutouts, so I think it looks more structured, which is why I still went ahead and got this one. But yeah, I have been riding this for 2 weeks and have to say that I really like it. It's a helmet that I have wanted for probably close to 2 years now and never worked in a dealer that could get it, so I never got it. But yeah, I do have to say that I am very pleased with this helmet. I have a 61 centimeter head, so I went with the large. It is rated from 58 to 63 centimeters. You have the ratchet system in the back to adjust it, and yeah, it does come with the ANGi crash sensor, as well as one of the biggest features that I like about this helmet is the MIPS, the type of MIPS that they use. So previous helmets and most of the ones that you saw at first, when the MIPS came out, it had a yellow insert where the whole insert would move inside the helmet, which the vented helmet that I had before this had that and didn't really feel secure on my head. You could always see or feel the helmet moving, and it just wasn't my favorite thing. But I do believe that MIPS helps at least a little bit, so ideally I would want to keep MIPS. Now the thing that I really like about this one is how they use the MIPS. So unfortunately I'm not sure if you can see it, but essentially there's a piece of rubber that the pads kind of slide into. The rubber piece has the Velcro on the back side where the Velcro attaches to the actual foam of the helmet, but there's two little rubber bands, well, depending on the length of the pad, but there's little rubber bands on the rubber piece that loop over, and you slide the pads underneath of that, so you have a little bit of movement, but it's not the full-on complete shell moving. Fortunately, I feel like that's not super descriptive, but you can see, hopefully you can see some of the rubber that goes over the pad, which is what's making this MIPS. Yeah, so have had some warmer days recently, and yeah, definitely keeps my head cool, as well as considering the fact that I just shaved my head. But also with riding on cool days, I have used the a thermal beanie underneath of it, a cycling one, and there's plenty of room. Like I said, I'm pretty much in the middle range of this helmet, which I'm actually very surprised how well this fits and how big the head size range is for it. The straps I do really like. The earpiece is not adjustable, but it fits perfect, as well as there's good adjustment in the chin strap. And yeah, so two things that I was worried about getting the helmet was, I guess, first of all, is the ANGi. I've been looking a whole bunch of reviews of it because every once in a while tend to just take my computer off and not ride with it, which my wife really likes the fact of the computer having that accident detection, where this has the crash detection. So I was like, okay, this would be a plus of getting this helmet. So 2 weeks ago, I actually had a case where a car cut me off and I skidded into the side of the car, and the crash detection never sent a message. Also, I have to say the computer never sent a message, which is kind of surprising to me, considering the fact that I've ridden on gravel roads and it's set it off before. But yeah, hopefully there's not a worse case than that. But yeah, it unfortunately did not send a message. Also, granted, I didn't hit my head, but it was an abrupt stop. Another thing that I have seen, which kind of in mix of, is people are saying that they don't like this retention system because it's all plastic. So one thing I actually do like about this retention system being all plastic is my other one had the BOA system, the wires, and that also kind of just more or less like dug into the side of your head and still didn't hold your head that secure. So I definitely think most of it was on the MIPS that helmet used, but I do like this being plastic because it holds this helmet more secure, which is, to me, a plus of it. So another thing that I read on the reviews is the ratchet system knob will break off, which I've only had this for 2 weeks and thus far it's doing fine. So yes, this is also a light review on this helmet, but yeah, do really like how this holds your head secure overall. So with having it on, first thing that I noticed when I put it on is how far the straps actually attach to the helmet, how far out they attach. Normally they attach right on the inside or actually go up on the inside a little bit, but took me a couple times to get used to it. The ear, the Y connector sits right underneath your ear, at least on mine it does, and room for adjustment. But yeah, running the strap a little bit tighter than I normally do, just tending to the fact that I don't have a beard anymore, and when you are doing a descent or if it's a windy day and the air hits you just right, you will have this flutter a little bit, but it's not a huge deal, and especially if you run your glasses on the outside, you're not going to notice that. I personally run my glasses on the inside, and yeah, it doesn't really bother me, but it is something I have noticed. Don't have too much play in the helmet, which is why I like this MIP system. Also, the ratchet system in the back, I actually have it almost all the way up due to the fact that it pushed the helmet far forwards into my glasses when I had it farther down. So essentially, this helmet I just have to set up different than I have on any helmet in the past. So, yeah, really like how this helmet fits. Definitely would recommend it, but with the fact of the ANGi crash sensor not setting off, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a buy pro for me anymore. It's just, I don't know, on off. I'm just gonna leave it on for now, and then yeah, I will let you guys know in the future if I have any issues with the ratchet system on this. Hoping that not, and if I do, letting you know how that pans out with talking to Specialized. But yeah, definitely would buy this helmet again. And also one thing to point out is the structure of the back of the helmet. You can attach lights to it. I personally use Bontrager lights. They're my favorite lights. And yeah, the strap fits around this perfect, as it will add a light to the helmet. So old helmet that I had lights on it, or had the mounts for the lights on it, which I did like. And this one, you can put a light on, so when I commute at night or do a early ride, I can have a spare tail light. So yeah, I hope you guys like this review, and yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you guys next time.